Major breaking news in the NFL just a few hours ago. Quarterback Baker Mayfield has been claimed by the Los Angeles Rams. How about it? He was put on waivers yesterday by Carolina. A lot of buzz that he was going to go to San Francisco. And it's Sean McVay who brings in the former number one overall pick of the 2018 NFL Draft. And I get it, because with Matthew Stafford hurt, the quarterback play for Los Angeles and a waste of a season has been wretched. They're trying to win some games. You look at the remaining schedule. This on the heels of how close they were to beating the Seahawks over the weekend. And Sean McVay is basically saying, YOLO. At the end of the day, see if he can play and even spark the team in the second half against the Raiders on Thursday. Sounds crazy, but, you know, you've seen who the Rams have trotted out there. It's not any good. There were a lot of people, including me, who thought that the 49ers would end up getting somebody like Baker Mayfield. And this on the heels of the Jimmy Garoppolo foot injury. And obviously the Rams had a higher waiver priority because of where they ranked with such a terrible record. Turns out, according to Adam Schefter, they didn't even put in a waiver claim, because clearly the 49ers feel pretty good about Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, who now leads the league in being relevant because he's going to be the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers for the rest of the season. Now, Schefter did add that they have said that there's a situation with Garoppolo where surgery is not necessary and he could return in 7 to 8 weeks. Wow. Look, I think the 49ers with Deebo Samuel, with Christian McCaffrey, with Trent Williams, with Brandon Ayuk, with obviously George Kittle, with Kyle Shanahan calling the plays, with the best defense in the NFL, bar none. You saw that against Miami. Even when Garoppolo got hurt 8 plays into the game, they still were able to beat the high-powered Miami Dolphins because this defense is elite, best in the business. And I'm telling you right here, right now, even with someone named Brock Purdy, I refuse to rule out San Francisco. I refuse. That's how special I think the defense is, the weapons are. Kyle Shanahan and DeMeco Ryans are coaching up this team. And I know if you're an Eagles fan, a Cowboys fan, you think that's disrespectful. I don't care. And understand, Philadelphia is unbelievable. And Jalen Hurts is sensational. And he absolutely tormented the Titans in the signature win of any team, the way they beat Tennessee in that incredible Week 13 in the NFL. Jalen Hurts was awesome. Brown was awesome. Smith was awesome. They ran the ball behind that offensive line with authority. The defense, Davis is back on the defensive line. The upside for Philadelphia is to go to the Super Bowl. Look, I still think that the Dallas Cowboys have a greater upside than the Philadelphia Eagles. And I think on Christmas Eve, you're going to see the Dallas Cowboys in Big D beat the Philadelphia Eagles. And the defense was unbelievable in that fourth quarter. And I still maintain that Pollard is an absolute stud, and CeeDee Lamb has the chops, and he's great, and Zeke and Dak Prescott. Mike McCarthy's team, absolutely, they've got it going on. But we could look at the 2000 Ravens, what they did en route to a championship, doing it with defense. I just have so much trust here in San Francisco. And I know there are Eagles fans, Cowboys fans who are offended by this. I want to take you back to my original take on the San Francisco 49ers in August, when Trey Lance couldn't complete the forward pass against the Houston Texans. And I said, look, Trey Lance, right now, he can't dance. Trey Lance can't function. And I said the 49ers, best team in the NFL, 2 through 53. Obviously, the number one position, of course, being the quarterback. So whatever I thought about San Francisco when you had Trey Lance, that's what I now think with San Francisco with Brock Purdy. And this defense is that special. Those weapons are that special. And I'm not going to sit here and scream because it's offensive. San Francisco is marching into Dallas or Philadelphia on Championship Sunday, and they're going to be able to take care of business. But I'm telling you, Brock Purdy's going to beat Tom Brady coming up on Sunday. The 49ers can absolutely run the table. Brock Purdy under Kyle Shanahan can absolutely function just like he did over the weekend against Miami. The dumbest thing you could do if you understand coaching, weapons, defense, and sports is to eliminate the San Francisco 49ers. Wow, 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 wow. On a night where Tom Brady and the Buccaneers were flat out putrid for the vast majority of the ball game, we were treated to a vintage, majestic Tom Brady finish. And listen, you need to celebrate, you need to appreciate, you need to validate the greatest winner in the history of sports, with all due respect to Bill Russell or Michael Jordan or anyone else you want to throw at me. Tom Brady is the greatest football player of all time, greatest winner of all time, greatest quarterback of all time. And I didn't even think he had this in him, and the first three quarters of last night were part of the evidence of that. But given an opportunity, we'll get to the Saints' follies in a little bit. Wow, Tom Brady pounced. And those two final drives at 16-3 New Orleans, that was absolutely special. Now, don't get on planet delusional here, right? And say, oh, you know, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I mean, this is a spot where they're going to be dangerous. No, that's not the case. Todd Bowles still can't coach his way out of a paper bag, and obviously the Bucs and Brady and the receivers and the line dreadful in the first three quarters. And you look at the schedule, they're not beating San Francisco, they're not beating Cincinnati, and I'm not even going to give them automatic wins against Arizona, Carolina, or Atlanta. That's how bad the Buccaneers are. And listen, they're in position to win the worst division in the history of the National Football League. Let's assume Dallas, for the sake of conversation, is the wild card, and they have to go into Tampa Bay. You know, the spread on that game is going to be 16.5 favor of the road team. And Dallas is going to win that game, if that's the matchup, by 21 points. I want the NFL to flex out of the Buccaneers come playoff time. So don't get crazy and fall into the trap of nobody wants to see Tom Brady in the postseason. Everybody wants to see Tom Brady in the postseason because he was that bad for the vast majority of the game, which is why you celebrate and appreciate that one shining moment in 2022. That was special stuff last night. I really respect that soundbite from Billy Epler, the general manager of the Mets. And, of course, they're going to miss Jacob deGrom, who took the cash and the 5-year deal from the Rangers. But I got to give Billy Epler and Steve Cohen, the owner, and the Mets a lot of credit. On the heels of losing Jacob deGrom, they did better. I mean, signing Justin Verlander to a 2-year deal, giving him the exact same average annual value of over $43 million that his friend and now teammate again, Max Scherzer, got with the Mets. I mean, let me tell you something. They upgraded for 2023. And I'm obsessed with Jacob deGrom. I live for Jacob deGrom. Jacob deGrom is not reliable and can't stay healthy. And listen, before anyone says, well, Adam, how about the Tommy John surgery for Verlander a couple of years ago and Verlander in the World Series? Look, he was the Cy Young last year. It wasn't even close. 18-4, 1.75 ERA. And the Mets, they have the cash. They had to do it. Verlander's an upgrade over the version of Jake we saw last year. And look, nothing's guaranteed, though, when you look at winning the division because the Braves are still the Braves. And the Phillies made the ultimate move with my guy, Trey Turner, who I think is a flat-out rock star. He's won a World Series, wanted to play in the Northeast. He is great friends with Bryce Harper. And this lineup, are you kidding me? I mean, stare at that for a second. That's a winning ticket right there. So the Philadelphia Phillies, they made the most unbelievable move. 11-year contract. I know people are going to say, well, what about the back end of it? Well, what about the front end of it? Seriously, Trey Turner's unbelievable. The Phillies have to compete with the Braves and the Mets the same with the Braves and the Phillies. I think that Philadelphia will sign a mid-level starter in the rotation, which is something they need. The energy of Philadelphia is something that Turner wanted. Kevin Long is the hitting coach. That was his hitting coach in Washington. I'm obsessed with the keep up with the Joneses, the nature of this division. This is why you love sports and the baseball hot stove. Phenomenal job by the Mets. Even better job by the Phillies. Time to shine. I got a lot of stuff to get off my chest on a Tuesday. Starting with the Saints. We raved about the Brady comeback, and that's a headline. What an abysmal loss by New Orleans last night. Mark Ingram, shame on you. Shame, 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 shame. What the hell is this? How do you not fight for the first down? I mean, it's right there in front of you. They don't get it. Quick pass on third down, and then Dennis Allen punts. They're in Bucs territory, 44-yard line. It's 16-3. Go for the jugular. Dennis Allen deserves to be one and done. He was a failure as the Raiders head coach. We didn't like this hire in New Orleans. By the way, the Saints, if they would have held on and won, they would have ultimately been in position to potentially win the division, get a home playoff game. They're now 4-9, and the New Orleans Saints don't have their first-round pick because it went to Philadelphia in a trade. So this is one of the biggest seasons of underachievement ever in Saints history. That was unacceptable. Coaching last night, terrible job by Mark Ingram. I know he was injured, shouldn't be in the game if that's the case. How do you not fight? And Dennis Allen can't coach his way out of a paper bag. Got to get this off my chest. The Cincinnati Bengals are a legit Super Bowl caliber team. That statement by Joe Burrow, by Jamar Chase, by Samaje Perine, by T. Higgins and company against the Kansas City Chiefs, it was awesome. And you know I picked them to win and do just that because they're better than Kansas City. But I think for some people, they just kind of needed to see it. Look, whoever else you want to put in the elite category at the quarterback position, sure you include Joe Burrow. I think coming off the appendectomy, got off to the slow start. So maybe that's why people forgot about him and the Bengals. They had the close loss, of course, against Dallas in week 2, Pittsburgh in flukish fashion in week 1, the Baltimore game, then that no-show on Monday Night Football against Cleveland. Cincinnati's got it going on. They're going to win the division. Obviously, the Lamar injury factors in there. And Cincinnati's one of 3 teams with Buffalo and Kansas City that has a realistic chance to win the AFC. I would rank it Buffalo, Cincinnati, Kansas City without hesitation. And with that said, I got to get this off my chest. It's all right there for the Buffalo Bills in the AFC. I told you on Friday on Time to Shine, Miami was going to lose, and Kansas City was going to lose, and Buffalo was going to be in position to have everything that they wanted at the beginning of the year. The 1 seed, home field advantage, lovely Western New York, the first round bye, and that was absolutely awesome. And look, people say the schedule is tough. Well, compared to the Chiefs with a cupcake schedule, it is. Spoiler alert, they're going to beat the Jets. They're going to beat the Dolphins. They're going to beat the Bears. They're going to beat the Bengals. And they're going to beat the New England Patriots. We all saw what the Bills looked like on Thursday night. It's all there for my guy Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. I can't wait for Championship Sunday in lovely Western New York. And the Bills are winning the Super Bowl. I got to get this off my chest. The Tennessee Titans, in a bit of a shocker today, parted ways with general manager John Robinson, who had been the general manager since 2016. In a statement, the Titans said that the decision was made in part because the organization has higher aspirations to be met. Okay, so I wasn't expecting John Robinson, teams in first place, to get fired today. I get it. I'm going to endorse this for Tennessee because he let A.J. Brown go. And then ownership and Mike Vrabel. And Vrabel hated the trade. You saw his reaction in real time on the NFL Network when they caught him on camera. And listen, they should have paid A.J. Brown. And then you saw A.J. Brown just dominate the Tennessee Titans in an inexplicable loss when you look at what transpired over the weekend. And this is the same John Robinson who signed Ryan Tannehill to an extension when Tom Brady was available, drafted Isaiah Wilson in the first round, who had barely played in the NFL and had all sorts of issues, and everybody knew about that during the draft process, drafted the off-injured Caleb Farley, reached on him. So I respect the higher standard. Mike Vrabel is going to have more say in personnel. Vrabel clearly won the power struggle, and Mike Vrabel is right. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell for more videos.